Hi everyone, this presentation is on growth mindset, and you've probably taken some other classes where we've talked about growth mindset, specifically in child development or in the curriculum development course. We go into detail about growth mindset. I think we even talk about growth mindset and guiding behavior, and it's a cross-cutting theme throughout our courses. But in this class, it is of critical importance because when we are thinking about math learning, we all have some of our own growth mindset to work through, especially if we do not see ourselves as math learners. And so you could think of growth mindset as the secret conductor of the math and science train. And I have to give Dr. Angela Blooms some credit here. She is the one that created this wonderful presentation, and I am just narrating the slides for our class. And so thank you to Dr. Blooms for providing us with this information. So think of a time when you got better at something, maybe playing the guitar, playing a video game, making cupcakes, shooting free throws, driving a car, whatever. You took time to learn something and get better at it. When was there a time that you didn't need to try to be good at something? We all have something that we didn't necessarily have to try to be good at. For me, it was believe it or not, my athletic ability. I'm pretty athletic. I did really well in sports, and I didn't have to really try. It was just some natural talent that I had. But there were other things that I really had to try hard to do. And one of those things for me, yes, was math. I actually really love math, but I used to hate it because I thought it was so hard. But I learned that the more time I spent and the more that I practiced, the easier it got and the better that I got and the more I enjoyed it. So you might find that there are things in your life where you had to really spend some concerted effort to learn something. And then there are times in your life where you didn't have to try. And believe it or not, the better for you are the times where you had to really put in a concerted effort to learn something. And in those moments, we are growing our growth mindset. So what is mindset? This is the implicit view about where ability comes from. So it used to be believed that ability was innate and that some people were just good at some things and other people were bad at some things, and likewise. But the truth is, most skill requires practice. We have to talk about the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. In fixed mindset, this is the belief that intelligence and abilities are fixed, meaning I'm only going to ever be this good at something. I'll give an example of artistic ability. I have a cousin who is naturally gifted. She's absolutely one of the most amazing artists I have ever met. She's up there with some of the greats in my mind. I think she's really a wonderful illustrator and a painter and sculptor. She can do it all. And she's an illustrator for several newspapers. She's worked for the Chicago Times. She's worked for the Seattle Times. She's just gifted. And she's had to learn, but she's always had a natural ability. But then for me, I stink. I can barely draw a circle that's round. It's really hard. And so I just believed that that was a fixed trait. It was a fixed skill that I would never be good at and that she will always be good at. I never really thought about the things that I was naturally good at that she couldn't do. It never crossed my mind. But fixed mindset is believing that intelligence or abilities are fixed, that people just have them or they don't. But the truth is, you can grow your artistic ability through practice. And that's where growth mindset comes in. That's the belief that intelligence and abilities are malleable. Have you ever tried to learn a new game? And at first you really, maybe you stink at it, and then you try again, you try again, you try again, and eventually you're really good at it. I watch this and I watch my own kids go through this battle with video games where they keep trying even though their character has died, right? Mario Brothers, and they fall off the cliff, they just start right over again, and they keep trying, and eventually they master the game. And I tell my kids, if you can have that type of growth mindset around your video game, if you could put that much concerted effort into your video game, you could put that much concerted effort into figuring out how to play your violin. And so growth mindset is just that idea that intelligence and abilities are malleable and can be grown through practice. So when you think about the fixed mindset of students and the growth mindset of students, fixed mindset says, looking smart is the most important. The main thing I want when I do my schoolwork is to show how good I am at it. I don't want people to know that I struggle. So that's fixed mindset. Growth mindset is when students say, it's much more important for me to learn things in my classes than it is to get the best grades. Now listen, folks, I am a straight A student in my doctoral program, and I cried when I got a B on one of my tests. I understand. I understand greatly how important grades are to some, and how it's a sign of your dedication and your hard work when you get that good grade. But think about how much better it feels when you put the time and effort in to really work for that grade and you've learned something in the process. That's growth mindset. We do worry about, are we going to get an A, are we going to get a B? But that's not the most important thing when it comes to learning. Your achievement, yes, while good, the most important thing is that you learned and that you made progress. So think of it that way. It's much more important for me to learn things in my classes than it is to get the best grades. That's a tough one to swallow, but that is the honest truth. And then a fixed mindset student might say the effort is negative. To tell the truth, when I work hard at my schoolwork, it makes me feel like I'm not very smart. I think we've all been there, where we try really hard and it's just hard, so we feel dumb. But that's not the truth. The truth is that sometimes things are just hard and we have to keep trying. Growth mindset student says effort is positive. The harder I work at something, the better I get. And if we can flip our script, flip our internal script to see it that way, the better we will do, and the more we will grow in our mindset. So I'm trying really hard not to stumble over my words here. And then mindsets. What mindsets do? So strategies after failure. A fixed mindset after failure might say, I would spend less time on this subject from now on. I'm not good at math, so I'm just not going to spend all my time on it. I'm not going to put my eggs in that basket because I just suck at it anyway. No, that's not a growth mindset. A growth mindset student is more resilient than that. They would say, I would work harder in this class from now on. I know that I'm going to have to work hard and I'm going to keep working hard. And that's important. Fixed mindset and growth mindset. So what kind of mindset do you have? And you know what, you may find that you have a growth mindset in some areas and a fixed mindset in other areas. And that, you know what, that's just part of being human. A growth mindset really looks at, I can learn anything I want to. When I'm frustrated, I persevere, so I keep trying. I want to challenge myself. When I fail, I learn. Tell me, and I try hard. If you succeed, I'm inspired. My effort and attitude determine everything. Those are some really positive and empowering words. A fixed mindset looks like I'm either good at it or I'm not, and there's no in between. When I'm frustrated, I just quit. Have you been there? I have. I don't like to be challenged because being challenged is hard. When I fail, I'm no good. We've all had those feelings, right? When I fail, I'm just not good at this, so why try? Tell me I'm smart. I need the validation. If you succeed, I feel threatened. Have you ever felt that way when somebody else did better on an assignment or better on a test or better at something in life and you're like, oh, well, that just threatens my success? Not true, not true. My abilities determine everything. Also not true. So we have to start making the shift in ourselves so that we can help students and young children learn growth mindset. All right, so we're going to have this discussion, even if it's just on your own. In your experience, are there any areas in which you believe you have held a fixed mindset? How did it affect you? So take a minute, and if you have a journal, write this in a journal, or just reflect. On your own experience, are there areas which you believe you may have held a fixed mindset? For me, it's baking. I always mess up. I wish maybe I'll share a picture with you. I just tried to bake my son's 12th birthday cake, and it bubbled over and caught my oven on fire. That's a true story that just happened. And I just sometimes think I'm not good at baking when I realize it's just a matter of trial and error and I need to keep trying. So for me, I had a fixed mindset in that area. Maybe I still do. Then other fixed mindset that I know I hold might be my ability to learn a musical instrument. Like I love music, but I don't always give myself the time or energy to try to learn something new. I'm like, well, I'm just not going to be good at it. So think about how that affected you. We're going to pause here, and when we come back, we will continue talking about growth mindset and STEM. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So take a pause, go get some popcorn. This is a longer presentation series, and we will return to talk about growth mindset and STEM.